बहुत अच्छा.
Good afternoon. Nice to have you here with us today. And we wanted to ask you what are the main objectives of AdAsia 2011, and when did it first start? And you could just tell us a little bit about the actual event itself.
History, the first thing is AdAsia as a concept has been around well over 30 odd years. You had AdAsia, I think, in Lahore. You had AdAsia in Delhi in 1982, and that was set up by the Asian Association Federation, I think, of agencies, which is it's called AFA.
Okay.
So AFA set up AdAsia, and you had AdAsia in 82 in Delhi. You had it in I think Manila. That's what they said in 78, and then so on. And it rotates every 4 years. Now, every 2 years, different countries. Now, we had AdAsia last in Jaipur in 2003. 2005 went to Singapore. 2007 was South Korea, Jeju. And 2009 was Kuala Lumpur. I think 2009 was to be held in Pakistan, and unfortunately could not be held at that time because of the circumstances prevailing, and Kuala Lumpur stepped in. Now, we bid for AdAsia 2011 in 2007 in Jeju. We led the bid, we won the bid, and that's how we're holding it. That's the background. Okay, and AdAsia aims always to operate at a certain benchmark. The benchmark that has been set in more recent times has been AdAsia Jaipur. And AdAsia 2011 is going to be definitely viewed and constructed against that particular benchmark.
You mentioned change in this industry, and a lot of change coming from the East and the West looking more towards East. So what are the things that you are anticipating in the future? Is anything new coming up, or any opportunities, or maybe even threats, or what do you anticipate for the coming 5 years?
It's very clear that in the 19th century everybody was looking west. In the 21st century now, globally you're talking of looking east. Because even if you went on into BRIC countries, and then you went on into adding Indonesia, then you went on into adding every single country that's happening growing in Asia. If you look at, even if Japan earlier was a major leader, but now with what China is offering in terms of growth, you see the potential that exists in Indonesia. You see the potential that exists in Vietnam. The tremendous growth that's happened in South Korea, both in terms of technology, connectivity, and everything else. Then you take the potential that exists in India, in the entire South Asia, the South Asian subcontinent itself getting vibrant. So it is but natural that the entire West, with the slowing down in terms of growth rates, both in the United States as well as in Europe, you are but naturally looking at the East. That was one. Secondly, it's been very clear, events around the globe, both in terms of whether it's geopolitical, whether it's in terms of technological advancements, or in terms of disruption that's happening around the globe. It's very, very clear that nobody can talk of continuity. Nobody can talk of the same set of circumstances operating ad nauseam. So, which is why the phrase of living in uncertain times. And all marketers, all businesses now know, whether they operate on a quarterly basis or annual basis, they now know that the new certainty is definitely uncertainty. So, which is why we chose the theme of uncertainty the new certainty.
And so you mentioned that there are going to be delegates from all over different places, including Pakistan and everything. what is going to be the main objective which they're going to learn over there from the conference? Can you tell us about the crux of the conference?
Please keep jumping in terms of whatever you
handling it so comprehensively.
So, would you like to elaborate a little on what they're going to be learning about, what the conferences will help them in understanding, and where will there be learning about the Indian advertising industry as well?
Okay. Given the overall theme of the Congress, we broke it down into let's take the area of business, let's take the entire area of business, marketing, media, advertising. We just broke it down that way. And we said let's start having sessions everywhere. Let's look at the broad trends that are happening everywhere else. Let's look at how each one of them is coping with what we term as uncertainty, new certainty. And that's how the entire construct of the Congress was determined. So it's undoubtedly going to be a Congress for great learning. Undoubtedly a Congress for great debate and discussions. Because some of the questions that we put up in the presentation were provocative questions. Is marketing dead? Is it now engagement? So hopefully Joseph Tripodi, who is the CMO of Coke, will be speaking on that marketing 3.0. So same way Pankaj Gema has written about World 3.0. We're talking of chat rooms to Twitter. So it is going to be a definite learning for any delegate. You learn from interactions, you learn from listening to the experience of everybody else, you learn from the way the topic is explored, and you learn from the sheer width of experience which is going to be up there on the stage. For any delegate, I wish when I was younger I could have had a Congress where I could listen to so many people all in one go.
Is this going to be focused mainly on top tier management, or is it something that is open to anybody who?
It is open to everybody, anybody who wants to learn. And it's not that only the youngsters learn, it's a constant learning even for me. Day in, day out, whatever I attend is a constant learning. So it's for anybody who's willing to learn. It's got nothing to do with age, it's got nothing to do with gender, it's got nothing to do with tier of management. Very clear.
Open to everybody.
It's open, it's meant for anybody keen, learn, knowledge, debate and discussions.
Talking about advertising, especially advertising.
And sorry, to answer that earlier question, it's not a question of AdAsia 2011 being all about India.
Yeah.
It's going to be all about Asia and the trends that are happening around the world.
Yeah.
So it's not an Indian advertising festival. If the questions or debates and discussions on the Indian advertising industry, that will be in the Goa Fest. So that's an independent activity that happens.
The venue happens to be India, but it's a nation congress.
Amazing.
It's a nation congress.
Yeah.
And it's all going to be not just about advertising, not just about Asia as well. It's going to be quite broader globally.
From an advertising point of view, advertising in Asia has transcended to a better level overall. We have seen greater depictions of products in ads nowadays. So is there any sort of platform where these best practices can be shared with countries like Pakistan, where advertising is still in a very early growth stage, from associations like AAP or associations in India or in China? Is there a platform where these
I'm sure there are platforms that AAP can take advantage of in terms of associations. But one of the key sessions that we are having is talking of Asian creative, where we are having a panel put together from creative from Thailand, Japan, South Korea, China, India. You get in different countries and then check on it's like a report card on Asian creatives. So that's going to happen at the Congress. So that's a beginning. And there are opportunities for AAP.
What can we expect from AdAsia in the future? More collaborations, a more broader scope of activities in it? How would you like to describe it?
I would only wish, we are the organizing committee for AdAsia 2011.
Yeah.
We are we are wanting to set a standard for how AdAsias need to be operated upon and conducted in the future. So each country which hosts AdAsia should use this as a benchmark and be adopted. Ashish, you want to add on?
Yeah, precisely. That's one. And two is raising the intellectual bar, and the process of enriching the delegates in terms of content. So it is our endeavor to continuously invest in the intellectual enrichment, engagement. And besides that, a lot of networking opportunities, and more than that, in a gravy of a lot of fun and enjoyment. So there's a cultural aspect to it, a social aspect to it, there's learning, there's enrichment, there's networking. So all in all, it's a comprehensive meeting of minds across the fraternity from different parts of Asia and the rest of the world.
I think it will be a good opportunity for everyone to take
Absolutely.
advantage of so many people from all over the world coming and sharing
Yes.
their experiences.
It's a great opportunity and everybody should act.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yes.
See you in Delhi.
Inshallah.
See you in Delhi.
Yes.
See you in Delhi.
Thank you so much.